Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you the second part of the scrap video. I made one change to the deck. I took out the continuous spell. I don't even remember the name, but I took out the continuous spell to add a second scrap goblin into the deck. The more I use goblin, the more I like it. I don't know if I'd ever put it at 3, but at 2 it's working at the moment. And other than that, the deck's still the same. I'm still using reload. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm just using reload because that's where I built it. But you can use any skill you want: tie that binds, beat down, switcheroo, whatever you desire. So in this video, what I wanted to do is I wasn't able to cover the 6 samurai matchup in the original video, so I have 5 duels against 6 samurais, and I'll show you right here. Because I think all these 10 duels, yeah, we're still using the deck. So I went up against Lavals, I beat that. I went up against 6 samurais, I beat that. I had 6. That's funny. I had six samurai matchups. That was one of them I won. This was another one that I won. I lost this one because I just didn't have an out to. I didn't have enough cards to like bait the Shien and bait the Inishi, so I ended up losing that one. And then after that, I got another 6 samurai matchup. I won this one. I got another 6 samurai matchup. I won that one. I lost to Cyberdarks. Literally didn't get a single monster in this duel. He just beat me down with Cyberdark Edge for 2 turns. It's kind of sad. And then what else did I lose to? Oh yeah, I lost to Ancient Gears. Turn 1. Ultimate Ancient Gear it was the only card they control, so my Scrap Twin Dragon couldn't do anything to bounce it back to the hand. Kind of unfortunate, but we did lose that one as well. And then we were able to beat Stall fairly easily, if I do say so. I just went double Twin Dragon and bounced that both the back row and both the monsters and won. And then we got another 6 samurai matchup that I was able to win. Let's go ahead and go over the replays. And I went 5-1 against 6 samurais with this deck. It might not be a huge sample size, but it's still, you know, 6 duels. The only one that I lost, I mean, it was a fair loss. Obviously I could have had a better hand to deal with the field my opponent put out, but it happens sometimes. So I'm not gonna try to give any excuse. I did lose to the 6 samurai player. But let's just get into this gameplay. So we're going first. We're going to start with Scrap Factory, Chimera. We're going to use Scrap Storm to send a Goblin into the graveyard. And then I'm going to special summon a Scrap Golem from the deck. Kind of your bread and butter play. This is good going first because you don't have to overextend. You can get a Golem, you get your Goblin on the field. So you already know they're not going to be able to get over Goblin. And I have Canada and enemy controller to interrupt whatever he tries to do. So he goes double united, 1 dojo. Pretty easy. Good for him. He's gonna special summon a Fuma from the deck and then try to draw 4, try to get to that Kisan. He doesn't get the Kisan. He instead gets 2 back rows, so that's all very good for us. I'm gonna activate Scrap Storm again, destroy our Goblin. Goblin's effect is gonna activate to give me Chimera back. And if you didn't notice, I sent, where did I send to the grave? I sent Scrap Soldier because he's the level 5 tuner, and I'm going to be special summoning that with Chimera in order to get double Scrap Twin Dragon right here. So with my Scrap Factory, we're going to special summon the Beast, so we can go into our first level 9. And I special summon the Goblin because I need something to destroy with, you know, my Scrap Twin Dragon. We're gonna get rid of the back row first. No need to overextend while I can get rid of the back row first in case there was like a Floodgate or a Canada or something like that. But I assume that this was only going to be you know, 6 styles. He felt pretty safe with 2 Fumas, but we're gonna special summon our second Scrap Twin Dragon, get rid of this Econ, shuffle, send those back to the hand, and then we see the scoop. So that's pretty ideal. I mean, but you know, Yeah, he didn't get a Kisan, but I had a Canada for the Kisan to stop the Shien play. He got to draw 4 and special summon a Fuma from the deck. I think that was a fair match, and I just got the best of him. Alright, next we had a Jaden.
Duel.
And this time we're going second, so he's gonna set up his board. Kind of a weird play. Secret, because he did this, I mean, he did this for the counters more than anything. He wanted to draw 2. But it was also kind of, it felt like bait. Like, he wants me to get rid of this legendary of the 6, legendary secret of the 6 samurai. And that's more than likely because there's a 6 style dual wheel back there. So all I'm gonna do is normal summon my Chimera and try to protect it so that next turn I can tribute summon for my scrap golem. On a Canada the Fuma so he doesn't synchro summon, use the enemy controller on Kisan. And now I can just tribute, special summon the Chimera, go for the attack. Shien's Dojo is gonna activate, tie that binds. So he goes for the suicide here, which again led me to believe that he was probably trying to set up a dual wheel. He's gonna special summon Kizaru, get a Inishi to the hand, and then he tries to destroy my Chimera. But we're gonna go ahead and destroy that. Get a draw instead, and look at this. He rams into my scrap golem. Now that tells me that this is 100% a Fuma, and that's a dual wheel. He wants me to destroy this, get a 1 monster on the board, and then bounce my stuff back. Really easy to play around now that I know. We're gonna special summon the scrap goblin, killing his dual style. Even if I were to attack this, he's controlling 2 monsters. And I don't even have to worry about this Fuma. I can just attack my scrap goblin and win the game. Didn't even have to synchro summon here. And we just kind of reload for the BM. Let him know that reload is a superior skill. Next we have a Yugi. Another 6 samurai, obviously. These are all 6 samurai.
Duel.
And we're going second again. So all these 6 samurai players are having their chance to set up their board. This is the ideal board. We have Inishi and Shien. We're gonna normal summon Scrap Beast. He immediately bounces it back. And I was gonna see if I could get away with like a Scrap Storm. I was like, maybe he won't negate the first spell. And that would have let me, you know, drawn into 1. So I try to go for it. He is gonna negate with Shien. But look at this beautiful back row that I have to deal with his attacks and summons. So we're just gonna set 2 Canada, 1 Floodgate. He's gonna summon Fuma. And instead of keeping a Inishi on the board or going for a double negation, which would have been the ideal plan here, my man goes for Armades. So we're gonna activate Canada on the summon, have him negate with Shien, and then during the same chain activate the Floodgate. So now that's gonna be permanently face down, even though it's prismatic. Goes for the tie that binds. We're gonna activate our Canada in the battle phase. If I activate this beforehand, he's able to flip this back into attack mode. He gets his negation back, and we obviously don't want him in attack mode. So gonna put the guy face down, get a Canada of my own. And I don't have a space for a level 6, so I couldn't synchro here into a level 6. So instead I'm just gonna go for Scrap Shark, get rid of the Shien. And they scoop because they were like, hold on, I had Inishi Shien, I should have won that duel. I don't know what happened, I'm getting out of here. Then we got 2 more matches.
Duel.
This is another Yugi. Turn 1 Shien with a Kisan as backup. So we're gonna go ahead and set our Goblin. Goblin is not gonna be destroyed by battle, so we're not really in danger of getting OTK'd unless there was something like an Inishi, and at that point I can start using my back row. He attacks him twice, so he is gonna get destroyed, and that's kind of unfortunate because I don't have my field spell, so I don't get a plus off of that. But we can just summon Scrap Chimera, summon the Scrap Goblin again, and I wanted him to negate this Canadia because I didn't want to just keep stalling. I wanted to take care of this Shien, and even if this was a 6 style, I was like, whatever, I'll take my chances. So we're gonna Econ take right here, and we're going to Synchro Summon into a red Dragon Archfiend, go for the attack goes through, so now I have a 3000 beater. It's gonna go for Dojo, special summon Kisan, normal summon Kisan, special summon the Fuma, goes for the tie that binds. I kind of got greedy here. I could have just stopped the Fuma attack, but I was like, okay, he wants to get an Inishi on the board so he can bounce my red Dragon Archfiend. Well, if I wait till the battle step and I flip the Kisan into face down, he'll destroy his monster. His Inishi won't be able to bounce anything back. And I was definitely not expecting the Asceticism. So the Asceticism kind of gets me right there. And because this is resolving as a Chain Link 2, I'm not going to be able to activate my Floodgate. So I can't stop the Inishi right here. Even though he is going to take damage from this attack. Takes 26. Summons the Inishi, bounces my red Dragon Archfiend back, and then he makes a crucial mistake the following turn. We're gonna go for the reload. I'm trying to get something going. We're gonna get a monster, and I know he's gonna bounce it back, but at least I want the monsters from the graveyard to be gone, and I'm hoping that he will flip summon the Kisan. I'll Floodgate it, get a Canadia to protect myself, and then we can go from there. So he is gonna bounce my Scrap Beast back. Goes for the normal summon on Kisan. We're gonna activate Floodgate, get my Canadia on the field in defense mode because I didn't want to take damage, and this is not lethal. I don't know how he thought this was gonna be lethal, but you're not controlling two 6 Samurai monsters, so your Inishi is gonna go back to 1700. Ties that binds. Leaves me at 300 life, and he just put a Kagemusha in attack mode. All I have to do is summon my beast, and that's game. Easy. And then this last duel was really close. I made a very questionable play, but I was trying to just go for it, as you guys will see. And it makes for a good highlight in my opinion. So we're going second. Again, I think most of the times we're going second. So all these 6 Samurai players are getting a chance to set up their board. United Inishi, no Dojo, but probably a 6 style back there. So because I imagine this is a 6 style, I'm just gonna summon my Chimera and go for the suicide. I got rid of one Shien, which is really one Inishi. I'm sorry. I got rid of one Inishi, which is really important. Most 6 Samurai players run 2 Inishi, and that's something that you should keep in your mind, because in this deck particularly, Inishi is more of a threat than Shien, because Inishi bouncing my monsters back is not good for me. I don't care so much if he negates my back row. We're gonna Floodgate the legendary secret of the 6 Samurai, so we're just gonna take 400 damage here. I don't pick up a monster, I get Factory, can't really do much with it. I just wanted to activate it and go for the reload. We don't get a monster, but we did get an enemy controller, so we're kind of just waiting. He can't do much, they don't really run tributes. He can't flip this back face up, he has no way of suiciding his Fumas. So even though we don't have a monster, we're actually okay. We're not going for a Scrap Shark. And I'm activating the Canadia here because I want my Scrap Shark to be destroyed so that I can get a special summon of a Factory and start doing my plays. Shark is also going to activate to send a Tuner Goblin, Scrap Goblin, to the graveyard. We're going to special summon Goblin, and we're kind of set up here. I didn't want to go for the Scrap Twin Dragon because I can't really do a big push. Sending these cards back to his hand is not of huge benefit, So I'm just setting up a Goblin to be protected, and I'm gonna start destroying his monsters. Starting with the Legendary Secret of the Sixth Samurai. He's gonna summon another one, so we'll Canadia that. And I'm gonna summon a Canadia also. But he decides to go full defense. This is where I make the questionable play, because I know that this is a Fuma and this is another Fuma. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Red Dragon Archfiend, and I'm just thinking I'll just wipe the entire board. I know Inishi is gonna come to the field with another Sixth Samurai and bounce back my Red Dragon Archfiend. But in my mind, I was like, if I can survive with the enemy controller, I'll be able to survive another turn with my Scrap Goblin coming up, and you know, maybe I have a chance to turn this duel around. So we're gonna go for Red Dragon Archfiend. And if you're wondering, I couldn't summon Goblin here because Goblin wasn't gonna attack. I didn't want him in attack mode, obviously, take a bunch of damage that way. And if I put him in defense mode, he's gonna be destroyed by Red Dragon Archfiend's effect. So both Fumas are gonna activate. One of them is gonna be Inishi number 2. Very important, that is number 2. And a Legendary Secret of the Sixth Samurai. He immediately bounces my Red Dragon Archfiend. And here are my options. I knew I was gonna be able to stop something with enemy controller. Well, what are my options? He summoned the Fuma in attack mode, so I can't steal that because I would be taking damage. It gets destroyed, so he actually gets another monster from the deck. I could take a Nishi and that would be safe, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I want this Inishi off the board. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna activate enemy controller, take the Legendary Secret of Sixth Samurai. This is gonna force him to Shien with the Inishi. And like I mentioned, I'm not worried about Shien as much as I'm worried about Inishi. That is his second Inishi. I shouldn't have to worry about another one for the rest of the duel. And now I can just set my Scrap Goblin and survive for another turn that I already knew was gonna happen. Excuse me. My Scrap Goblin is gonna get destroyed because he attacked it while it was face up. That's gonna let me get a card from my graveyard and a special summon a monster from the deck. A misplay here, I'm gonna be honest. I was supposed to pick a card from the graveyard first, and I'm thinking I'm picking from the deck to special summon, so I grabbed the Scrap Golem on accident. I should have grabbed that Chimera, and I'm gonna special summon a Scrap Golem from the deck. I get blessed though and top deck into the Chimera that I should have already had in my hand, so it's good there. And here, look at this play. We're gonna special summon Scrap Shark and activate Scrap Storm. I know Shien is gonna negate this, but I don't care. I just want my Scrap Shark to be negated because I need to put a Scrap Beast on the field, and I want to send a Scrap Soldier to the graveyard so I have a follow-up play with Chimera. So Shien's gonna negate. My Shark is gonna get destroyed because I activated a card. Scrap Factory is gonna activate. Scrap Shark is gonna activate. We're gonna send the special summon a Scrap Beast, excuse me. Normal summon Chimera, special summon the Beast again. At this point I was running out of time, so my math was bad. We're gonna activate Scrap Twin Dragon on the back row. Activate another Scrap Factory, go for the attack, and I'm 100 short of lethal, but I'm feeling pretty good about my field. It's gonna get united. Normal summon a Kisan, and also set double 6-style Duel Wheel. So I'm gonna activate Scrap Twin Dragon's effect. He bounces with 6-style Duel Wheel, which means it's if they bounce the card that you targeted, your effect doesn't resolve. So this card is actually not gonna go back to his hand, and his effect is going to fully resolve. But it's not gonna matter too much because I tribute summon Scrap Golem. He goes for 6-style yet again. I have an enemy controller, but just to make sure that this isn't a random Kuribo, I'm also going to special summon my Canadia first, go for the Econ take, and we finally win this long duel against 6 Samurai. Another really long video. I'm sorry, I actually thought this was going to be way shorter, but I really wanted to go over the matchup. It's definitely favorable for scraps, but Six Samurai can't. Like I said, Anishi is a huge threat, but you're able to play around a lot of things with your scrap Twin Dragon. You're not going to destroy the Fumas, so they don't get to special summon anything. He's already at 3200, so Shien is going to have a hard time getting over it. And a lot of your main engine relies on monster effects. So if you can somehow sneak in your Scrap Factory, and even if Shien negates everything else, you should be okay. But this is expensive deck, so I don't expect a lot of people to start running this. I just think it's really fun, and I was glad that it stands a chance against Six Samurai. Even though I still love Six Samurai, I really like using this deck as well, and it was good to see that it doesn't just get crushed by the meta, which is Six Samurai. But I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description, along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel, support my content. I really appreciate that. And till next time.